Now, talking of delivering big fights, and that's what you want to focus on, what's the latest, and I asked you this last time, of course, on Usyk and Joyce?
Still negotiating. It's not easy. Still negotiating. I mean, their position is, I think, that they still feel they're in with a shot. A direct world title. I don't know, but we will see. So we're working. But one thing's for sure, the WBO, I don't think they're going to give us too much time. They're either going to call for the purse bids or not, and I think they'll do that fairly soon.
Why do you think they believe they're still in with a shot at a direct challenge for the world title? Because the WBO have kind of made their position clear, it seems.
Yeah. I don't. Well, you've got to ask them that. I mean, that's the sort of the feedback you get,
But that's the impression you're getting from negotiations, is that they feel they've got other options.
Yeah. Okay. We will see. But we're going to make an announcement this week for Daniel Dubois as well, for his comeback fight.
And when's that likely to be? You don't have to tell me the date if you want to save the announcement, but roughly when?
It will be towards the end of May, early June.
So Mark Tibbs will be in the corner, presumably. Obviously, he'll be out with Billy Joe up until just after the 8th of May, and then he'll be back.
Well, that's got to be sorted out between Daniel and his manager and Mark Tibbs. And I'm sure they'll meet up to work out what's got to be done.
How do you feel about Daniel's comeback generally? Because he was making a real name for himself. The Joyce loss could either be, the breaking of him, or, as you hope, the making of him. He still seems to have a big future ahead. I
think that's the case now. I mean, how is he going to come back? I mean, he's got more pressure on him now than when he was undefeated, because there was a sort of there was an immediate knee-jerk reaction to how the fight ended with Joe, and a lot of people said what they had to say, and then obviously other things came out as regarding to actually what the injury was, which I think we've been over a million times before. So it's now the pressure's on him. He's got a lot of pressure on him to come back and show the world what he's made of.
And how do you feel? I mean, you know him as well as anyone. He's quite a reserved guy, but how do you feel he can deal with that pressure and that kind of people criticising him, being under more scrutiny than ever before?
How will he deal with it? He seems pretty philosophical about it. When a couple of meetings I've had with him and we've discussed it, he seems quite philosophical. But having said that, you're only going to find out when the first bell goes in the next fight. That's when you're going to know.
Now, let me ask you about some new additions to the team. You already had one Frankham under your belt. Now you've got 3. Is that just asking for trouble, or no? Seriously, though, very
I'm
talented
delighted.
Brothers.
Listen, they're 3 talented brothers, and I used to go and watch their uncle fight when I was younger. At York Hall, Johnny Frankham. I was a massive big fan. Yeah, Gypsy John. I mean, I watched him when my cousin Johnny Wall, same time around, he was fighting at light heavyweight, and he was very, very talented. And these 3 guys are exceptionally talented young fighters, and they're going places, no doubt about that.
I mean, Charlie Franken, for example, looked really good on his first couple of fights, and then didn't hear from him again. It was like he'd gone into hiding or something. What did you kind of spot that and think that's a waste of talent? Was he someone you targeted?
Well, I think we were discussing signing him in the first instance. But cut a long story short, I think he went with Matchroom, didn't he?
Yeah.
And anyway, but he was. He obviously wasn't very happy and came to see us and seen what we've been doing with his his relation, and we just got him back. Got him back. He came back with us, came to us, and I'm highly delighted. Very talented young man.
How far do you feel he can go, and also Levi as well?
I think they all got a great opportunity of going very far. Josh as well. I think they've all got, but it's all about discipline. And provided you maintain your discipline, live the life, they can. I mean, they're exceptional talents. But talent is not just the key to it. You also got to have a bang on about the dedication and the commitment. And provided that's there, they can go all the way.
Now, with Canelo and Billy Joe earlier, I allowed you to sit on the fence quite graciously, I think. But I'm going to demand a prediction for this weekend's, not your show, you'll be glad to know, but the Matchroom show out in Gibraltar, of all places, Dillian Whyte's rematch with Alexander Povetkin, is it going to be repeat or revenge?
If he clips him, he'll go. He's shown he can do that. If he clips him, up to then Dillian was doing fairly well. Can Dillian stay on top of, get on top of him? And is he going to be wary about, what happened to him in the last fight? Is he going to be wary about it? I think the big benefit he's had from his perspective is they didn't go straight back into the rematch and it got postponed. So I think had he had done that, I would have said Povetkin all day long, because, you need time to recover and be out, and get yourself back in. You should be sparring after getting badly knocked out like that. But one thing's for sure, if Povetkin clips him, he'll go.
But will he clip him? What's your prediction? I'm not letting you sit on the fence
well,
again.
He's cut. My prediction is, what's my prediction? My prediction is if he clips him, he'll go.
But will he clip him?
We'll see.
Ah.
I think Povetkin. I hope Povetkin doesn't do I don't say I hope. I mean, I'm pleased he won Anthony Joshua, but provided he's trained well. I mean, he's had COVID. He had COVID, didn't he? So that's quite debilitating. So we'll see how strong he is then. But if he's at 100%, then I've got fancy.
That's a prediction. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. What did you make of the coin, by the way? I just wanted to get your take on that. The commemorative coin with Dillian. Apparently, it was Dillian Whyte on it. I'm not sure how much it actually looked like him.
What did I make of that? It's quite interesting. It's quite an honour for him. He should be delighted with that.
Good stuff. Have you ever considered putting on events in Gibraltar yourself?
We've been down there a couple of times. We was invited down by a representative of the government. We met with their equivalent, the Prime Minister, and we were quite close to doing something. Unfortunately, the COVID all happened, so it didn't take place. You've
talked before about your feelings regarding Derek Chizora being in pay-per-view headline fights at this stage of his career. It's fallen on deaf ears, it appears, because he's in another one in May against Joseph Parker. What did you make of that when you heard the news that was a Sky Sports box office main event?
Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and if people want to buy it, they'll buy it. And there's obviously a market for it, or they wouldn't keep doing it. So, that's what it is. And good luck to Derek and Parker and getting a few quid. I'm pleased for them that they can do that. I keep saying I bang on about it, is that pay-per-views, I think, should be something a little bit, you'd hope they'd be a little bit special. But it is what it is. It's a decent fight. It's a good fight. So if people want to watch it, they'll buy it.
Aside from the obvious AJ and Fury, are there fights you see yourself putting on this year that could become pay-per-view attractions?
I think there's cards that we're going to put together that will be that type of thing. If we're giving a value on a card, that's what we'll be looking to do.
So kind of harking back to the Magnificent 7 days.
Yeah, I mean, which was great value for money, wasn't it? They were great, they were fantastic. And Sheffield, what was it we did up there? The old Form 1 tier and all that. With was it 8 or 9? 10 title fights.
Loads, yeah, obviously Naz and
so they're great events, and it's great television, great events, and great value for money for the fans. Yeah.
Now, before I let you go, there was one subject we haven't covered yet, and I don't know how much you'll know about this, but Triller are a new player in the traditional boxing sense. They were mainly concentrating on exhibitions and so on, and then they won the purse bids for Teofimo Lopez against George Kambosos. Now this week they've hired Peter Khan, who's a well-known name in boxing circles, for quite an executive position with them. It seems like they're taking the whole boxing thing pretty seriously now. Do you see them as a contender, as a threat?
No, not at all. The more the merrier. I mean, it's great for our sport that people, feel that they, that they are investing in it, and they see that there's a market for it. It just shows you how popular boxing is. So I'm delighted from that perspective. It's great for the fighters, great, as I always say, great for the fans. And I feel that, and to make their mark, they're going to have to step up to the plate, which they've done by paying big money out for purse bid. For that Lopez fight, so that's great for. He's had a touch out of it, hasn't he? He's done extremely well out of it. So providing they stay in the game a long time. I think it'll be great. It's competition. Competition's the best thing. Competition really, really makes people pull their socks up and work harder to deliver. And that's great, as I always say, for people who are buying to watch these things or going to the shows themselves, because the finance that's generated from TV obviously makes this sport thrive.
Can you tell us much about Peter Khan? I've never spoken to him, but do you know him particularly?
I don't really know. I know of him. I've not really had a lot of dealings with him, but I know he's a very successful boxing boy. He's got quite a few boxers in his stable, hasn't he?
As a manager, yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of the Triller content so far?
I watched the Mike Tyson thing because it was on BT.
What did you make of it?
Well, it was what it was, wasn't it? 2 old geezers fighting.
But what did you make of the whole kind of package? Musical performances, the commentary was a bit different.
Look, I mean, anyone who knows me tell me I love my music. When things are good, when things were okay, I'll go to concerts. Like at least I do about 3 a month, easy. And I'm going down Ronnie Scott wherever I go and enjoy music. I love music, but I'm not too much into music and boxing. I want to watch my boxing and I want to watch the music. I don't want to watch. I don't. It's not. But I'm an old geezer, as I keep saying, and people see things in a different way, in a different manner. It's up to them. Well, he was doing it, wasn't he? Jay-Z, was it when he was involved in boxing?
Rock Nation, yeah.
Rock Nation did the same thing. At the end of the day, you ain't selling it on the music. You're selling it on the boxing, because that's what people buy into.
Great stuff. Well, Frank, very best of luck with the weekend. I'll be glued to the TV both Friday and Saturday night. Give me something to do, which is always appreciated, especially in the pandemic. I'm sure a lot of boxing fans appreciate it just the same. Good luck with that, and we'll speak again hopefully next week.
Lovely. Thanks, Dan. You look after yourself, mate.
And you, Frank. Take care. Bye-bye.
So, mate. Bye.